Hi guys, my name is Chris, Chris Current, or also known as The Current Craft. I stream here on Facebook. I just started streaming, but I wanted to bring some of my expertise into helping out streamers that are just starting. Um, what I do is I teach nonverbal communication, body language. How is that relevant, or how does that apply to me? Well, take a look at this picture right here. This is a picture here of the first ever presidential debate. You got Kennedy and Nixon going toe to toe. Based off of this photo, take a quick look. What's your first impression? Who do you think won this debate just from this photo? Okay, so I'm going to tell you actually what is going on here. All right, so take a look. If you look over here, we got Kennedy, who is sitting. He's got his hands resting right there on his knees, and sitting up straight. It looks like he's fit well, and he's looking straight ahead. If you look over here at Nixon, you'll see that he's got one hand that's grasping his knee, like he's holding onto it. The other one's grasping the chair, but it kind of looks like a fist. Um, he's got one foot underneath the table and one going out, almost like he's getting ready to take a step and walk away. And he's looking over at his opponent. But let's go into a little more detail about what's going on here. So Nixon actually just got out of the hospital. He'd fallen and had to spend a couple days in the hospital. That's why he's grabbing onto his knee. He's trying to relieve the tension and the pressure and the pain. Also, why his feet are in two different positions. His suit is a little baggier because he's lost a little bit of weight. So just by visual, looks like he's going to run away with this. Anybody who's familiar with this time period knows TVs are just coming out, so not everybody had a TV. Either listened to it on the radio or you went to a friend's house that had a TV and wanted to watch. Those were really only the two forms of doing this. There was such a discrepancy that they didn't air another presidential debate for 20 years. So I just want you to know how important this is. Some of the things that we can learn and take away from this, some tips and tricks. If we were to take one out of Nixon's book, what we would do is have our camera set up to a point to where when we're playing, we're looking towards the center of the screen, right in the center of the screen. How you do that is how you position where your setup is. I play off an Xbox and I got my TV set up just above, mounted on the wall behind. So when I look, I have a little elevation and I pull over this way. When I'm looking center of the screen, paying attention to what's going on there, I'm guiding you towards the center of the stream, so you'll pay attention to what I'm paying attention to. It's like we're sitting side by side watching the same movie, right? The other thing is, if we were to take one out of Kennedy's book, is to look forward and maintain eye contact. Now, you're streaming. There's no way for you to look at somebody's eyes directly, but there's a trick to do that. Put some googly eyes next to your camera or a stuffed animal there, so it looks like you're looking directly at something. Let me give you an example. So say I'm streaming, I've got my controller and I'm playing, we're in the middle of a game, and I have a second to look at chat. I look over and Josh says, "Hey, sorry I haven't been on in a while. I've been busy. How are you?" I'm doing great, Josh. Thanks for stopping by. Hope things are good. I'm good. We're sitting here trying to get to Grand Champ and Rock. Okay. So I still had some enthusiasm, still communicated with Josh. But if it was a different scenario where I read Josh's comment and was like, Josh, it's good to see you. I'm glad you came back. Hope everything's good. We're just playing some Rocket League trying to get to Grand Champ. And my tones, my voice wasn't much different. It was looking directly at the camera. Hope you felt that. Having eye contact with the camera is really good for you. Let me tell you why. Although you may not be able to see anybody, they get to see you. When they get to have a conversation like they're sitting across the table and make eye contact with you, it builds a chemical called oxytocin. Oxytocin is the connection hormone. It's also nicknamed the cuddle hormone. So if you ever cuddle somebody for the first time and you're like, "Oh my God, this is great. This is amazing. I feel so good." The same thing in a smaller dose. Another thing to pay attention to is your vocal tones. People can hear out whether you're lying or telling the truth, or whatever the case may be. So just be as honest as possible is going to be the easy way. The best way is to stick to things you're passionate about. Somebody talked to me and said, talk about race cars and things like that, it would be over my head. If I were like, yeah, I know about race cars, but I really don't. You guys could tell. If it was about anime, that'd be a different story. You want to talk about Kirito or Natsu, I could do that all day. So, I mean, just stick to the things that you're passionate about. Something that you can work in your favor would be the question inflection. Just make sure you're paying attention to how the end of your sentences are going. For example, we're the best or we're the best. So the two differences right there. We're the best. It went up. It almost sounds like it's a question, like begging to be debated with. Yeah, you're not the best. Definitely. You're like, we're the best. It's a statement. It's a fact. What it is, nobody can argue with that. You sound more confident. Hope these tips helped you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to stop by when I'm live streaming, or you can always DM me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate it. Thanks.